When Tokugawa Ieyasu became shogun of Japan in 1603, he inherited a war-torn country and a mandate from his dying lord to never wage war again. So he did something crazy. He spent the next 7 years crushing all potential enemies, real and imagined, then built a system so airtight that it kept Japan at peace for 265 years. This is how he engineered the Great Peace, or Pax Tokugawa. Part 1. Neutralizing threats. First, Ieyasu rewrote the rules of land ownership. He confiscated the domains of his defeated rivals, the Tozama daimyo, meaning those who submitted but kept their lands, and rewarded his loyal allies, the Fudai daimyo, with the most strategic territories. This way, no single lord could raise an army without his permission, and as head of the government, Ieyasu retained 25% of Japan's rice revenue, the main source of wealth, ensuring the Tokugawa shogunate's economic dominance. But that wasn't enough. You see, Japan's feudal lords, the daimyo, were a proud, warlike bunch. So to prevent them from rearming and rebelling, Ieyasu forced them to follow a hostage system called Sankin-kutai, wherein they had to spend every other year living in Edo, modern-day Tokyo, leaving their families behind as permanent guests of the shogun. This drained their wealth because the further they had to send lavish processions of retainers, and because their Edo residences were extravagant palaces with high maintenance costs. Part 2. The framework. With the threat of war from outside lords neutralized, Ieyasu turned to solidifying his rule within Japan, and he did this with a 4-tier class system, the Shinokyo Sho, which stratified society into samurai, peasants, artisans, and merchants. Status was hereditary, so there was no social mobility to upset the balance. Peasants who produced rice were tied to their land and paid half their harvest as tax. Artisans or craftsmen were organized into guilds that controlled production and quality, and merchants, though despised for being the only class that dealt in money, were the backbone of the economy, albeit at the bottom of society. To further control society, Ieyasu subjugated religion. Before he took power, militant Buddhist sects ran rampant, even launching an insurrection against the previous government, so he crushed them, executing monks and burning temples. Then he banned Christianity after 1614, forcing suspected converts to trample Christian icons as a sign of their fear. Part 3. The walls. To top it all off, Ieyasu built a wall around Japan. His Sakoku, or closed country policy, banned all foreign travel, and while the death penalty was rarely enforced, it made quite an impression. One Chinese sailor who reached Japan in 1624 wrote, "If any of our people reach Japan, the one who has gone there is put to death and the one who has brought him is banished." To enforce this, Ieyasu restricted trade to only the Dutch and Chinese at Dejima, a tiny island off Nagasaki. Only 3 ships a year were allowed to come, each carrying only 50 men. Korea could trade via the Tsushima domain and Ryukyu Kingdom. Now Okinawa could trade via Satsuma, but only after swearing allegiance to the Tokugawa shogunate. These policies effectively ended the Japanese Civil War and ushered in 2 centuries of peace, during which the population doubled, roads were built connecting the entire country, and a shipping network integrated Japan's diverse waterways. However, the cons of this system soon emerged. Japan's military tech stagnated, remaining far behind Western powers, and when American warships arrived in 1853, the Japanese looked like they'd just been transported back to the Middle Ages. Also, the fixed land-based taxes pressured peasants even during famines, and any dissent against the regime was brutally repressed. Yet Ieyasu's genius lay in replacing chaos with calculus, trading freedom for stability. In the end, his elaborate system of control outlived him by centuries, only to be dismantled during the Meiji Restoration in 1868. It's a cautionary tale about engineered order. Like, comments, share and subscribe.